The beeping of machines echoed softly inside the pristine white corridors of St. Mary's Hospital, but what followed shattered that calm forever. The heavy doors of the operating room burst open, swinging violently against the wall, and in stormed a police canine, its powerful paws clattering against the tiles, its bark cutting through the sterile silence like thunder. Doctors froze mid-motion, nurses gasped, and the air filled with confusion as the German Shepherd lunged toward the operating table. And there, under the harsh surgical lights, lay a small, pale girl, fighting for her life. No one understood why the dog had broken all training, all control, to force its way inside. But within seconds, the reason behind its desperate act would leave every single person in that room stunned. Before I take you deeper into this emotional, heart-stopping story, I want to ask you something from the bottom of my heart. If you believe in the power of kindness, in the second chances life sometimes gives us, and in the unmatched loyalty of animals, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel Pawsitive Tales so we can continue bringing you true stories of courage, love, and bonds that defy all logic. Your support keeps these stories alive. The story began hours earlier on a rainy evening when Officer Ryan, a young policeman known for his quiet courage, received a call that would change his life forever. His canine partner, Rex, was by his side as always. The call was about a little girl who had gone missing near the outskirts of the city. Her frantic mother had dialed 911, her voice shaking, telling dispatchers that her daughter, Lily, hadn't returned home after playing at the neighborhood park. Time was critical. Every passing second was precious. Rex, with his sharp nose and unshakable loyalty, picked up the girl's scent almost immediately. Through wet grass, over fences, and down dimly lit streets, the dog pulled Ryan forward, relentless and determined. Finally, they found her, Lily, unconscious, barely breathing, lying behind an abandoned shed. A small vial lay nearby, evidence of something sinister, something poisonous. The girl had been targeted, and her fragile body was giving up under the weight of it. Ryan scooped her up into his arms while Rex circled nervously, barking for help as if summoning the world to hurry. They rushed her to St. Mary's, where doctors quickly prepared for an emergency operation. Poison had spread, her small frame trembling on the table. The doctors said they had minutes, perhaps an hour, before it would be too late. Officer Ryan held Rex tightly outside the operating room, whispering reassurances though his own heart was breaking. Rex's ears twitched, his body tense. He wasn't calm. He wasn't ready to wait. Something in him, something primal, something beyond training, told him he needed to be in that room. As the doctors began, a sudden shift occurred. Machines beeped erratically, Lily's heart struggling. The chief surgeon, Dr. Harris, barked orders to the team, trying to stabilize her. But then Rex, despite the officers' attempts to restrain him, broke free. He charged through the doors, pushing past startled nurses, his deep growl filling the sterile chamber. Gasps erupted. The surgeon shouted in disbelief. But Rex wasn't attacking, he was trying to reach the little girl. He leapt toward the table, planting his paws near her tiny hand, his nose frantically sniffing her arm, her chest, her breath. Then, to everyone's astonishment, Rex barked sharply, his gaze fixed on a small puncture wound no one had noticed under Lily's sleeve. The poison had been injected deeper than the team realized, and unless they treated it at that exact site, their efforts would fail. Dr. Harris froze, realization dawning. In that one desperate bark, Rex had pointed them toward the hidden truth, the very clue that could save her. The room erupted into motion. The surgeons shifted their focus, cleaning the site, neutralizing the toxins directly. Seconds felt like hours. Every person present held their breath as machines beeped in a frantic rhythm. Ryan stood in the corner, tears threatening to fall, watching his loyal partner guide trained medical experts with nothing but instinct. And then, the heart monitor steadied. A soft, steady rhythm returned. Lily's chest rose and fell more evenly. Life, fragile yet fierce, was clinging on. The impossible had happened. A dog had done what human eyes had missed. In the aftermath, silence filled the room. The surgeons stepped back, their faces pale, shaken not by failure but by awe. Rex remained by Lily's side, his head gently resting near her small hand as though he would never leave her again. The chief surgeon whispered that without the dog's intervention, she wouldn't have survived the night. That moment burned itself into everyone's memory forever. But the story didn't end there. Days passed, and as Lily recovered in the hospital, Rex visited her daily. Each time he walked into her room, her weak smile returned, her tiny fingers reaching to grip his fur. She wasn't just healing because of medicine, she was healing because she felt safe, loved, and protected by a guardian who had refused to let her go. Rex became her shadow, her silent nurse, her best friend. Ryan, too, was changed. He had always respected his partner, but now he saw something far deeper. Rex wasn't just a dog trained for duty, he was a soul capable of compassion, loyalty, and even miracles. The bond between man, dog, and child grew stronger with every sunrise. And the community around them, who had once dismissed stories of just a police dog, now saw with their own eyes what true devotion meant. Months later, when Lily was strong enough to walk again, she attended a ceremony at the police station. Rex was honored with a medal for bravery, though he didn't care for medals. As the crowd applauded, Lily knelt beside him, wrapping her arms around his neck. For her, he wasn't just a hero, he was family. And for Ryan, he wasn't just a partner, he was proof that love, in its purest form, often comes on four paws. So, when you think of loyalty, remember Rex. When you think of miracles, remember that sometimes they don't come from science alone but from hearts that refuse to give up. And when you think of hope, remember a moment in a hospital when everyone was shocked, not by death, but by the power of life that a dog helped protect. If this story touched your heart, I ask you sincerely, please like this video, share it so others can feel the same hope, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales so we can continue spreading stories of courage, love, and inspiration. Your small action means the world to us, and it helps these stories reach those who need them most. Speech balloon special request: before you leave, tell us in the comments, what do you believe animals can teach us about loyalty, love, and the value of life? We'd love to hear your thoughts.